I'm James Spann. This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Thursday, the 26th of August. Alabama's weather relatively quiet for a while. Tropics are really heating up. We'll take a look. Skycam shots. First off, coming from Cullman. Look at the steeples of the Sacred Heart Church as seen from the Skycam. The Skycam about 2 miles east of downtown Cullman on US 278 at the water treatment plant. Looking back toward downtown, sky's sunny. Over in East Alabama, a few cumulus clouds there as seen from the Skycam at Mount Cheahaw, up at 2,400 feet, a little hazy. And we've seen a few specks on the radar over there, but most folks will stay dry. And down south, the Skycam at the Dauphin Island Sea Lab. I was at that very spot last month, talking with Dr. Keith Blackwell, and a wonderful facility down there at the southern tip of Mobile County. Dry air covers much of the nation today. Pretty quiet. Got a ridge over the west, trough over the east. We'll check the numbers. Birmingham's string of highs under 90 is ended. The string was 2. We had 2 days with a high in the 80s. 90 degrees at 2 o'clock. Tuscaloosa and Anniston, 91. A lot of 80s, though. Cullman, 86. Alexander City, 88. Peek at the radar. This is the Maxwell Air Force Base radar. Look really carefully. You got 2 little specks up there in Cleburne County near the Calhoun County line. And that's it. A few scattered showers over Georgia. Some down there around the wiregrass of southeast Alabama, but most folks are dry and will stay dry. Rain for the next 5 days. Not a whole lot. Just a trace up this way with heavier totals in the waters of the Gulf, south of Gulf Shores. How about 6.4 inches for the bullseye down there? And again, much of the nation pretty dry. But the tropics are the topic today. Really, we've got a lot of things to watch. There's 4 on that graphic. You got the disturbance in the Gulf, and that's disorganized. Whatever evolves there is moving toward Texas. Hurricane Danielle, Tropical Storm Earl, very strong tropical wave below the Cape Verde Islands. That should be Fiona soon. And there's another one that's in Africa we'll show you in a minute that could be Gaston. Here's a look at the 2 lead systems. Danielle on the left, Earl on the right. Danielle is a hurricane packing sustained winds estimated at 105 miles per hour. Of course, out there, the reconnaissance, the hurricane hunters can't get out there. It's too far. And Earl is packing sustained winds estimated at 40 miles per hour. And looky here, goodness gracious. You've got what should be Fiona, very well-organized tropical wave. And there's Gaston, which should be over the continent of Africa. But you can see those things are just lined up like trains coming down the track. It sure looks like a very active September. And initially, we think the first 2 will recurve, but we wonder about those next 2. Here's the modeling on Danielle. And there's the recurve, modeling in good agreement. And there's the track from the Hurricane Center. And they've got that recurving into the open Atlantic way before reaching the United States, close to Bermuda. That's not a lock. It's going to stay east of Bermuda, but it kicks on out. Earl. There's the modeling, and again, you can see the bend northward at about 120 hours in 5 days. There's the intensity forecast of Earl. Most models ramp this up to a Category 2 hurricane, maybe a Category 3. Could be a pretty big one. There's the forecast track on Earl, and again, the Hurricane Center following guidance with that bend to the right, north of the Leeward Islands. And it just seems like Earl is destined to take a track very similar to Danielle, a recurve east of the United States. And on what should be Fiona, this modeling just in, this is now Invest 97. And again, if these early models are correct, this would be another recurving storm. But understand, this is not a lock at all. But that's the first glance at what should be Fiona. And the model showing it passing way north of the Leewards, east of Bermuda, same thing as Danielle and Earl. But we'll see. Again, it's going to be a busy, busy September, it looks like. We'll check the modeling here. This is the 12Z GFS, valid at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at 500 millibars, about 18,000 feet off the ground. Westerly's a bit north of here. We got broad troughing over the east. Down below that, the Gulf remains disturbed. And again, a little moisture over southeast Alabama. I don't think we need to mention a shower chance here. There could be a blip on radar like today, but most of you will not get wet. And there's Danielle in the far right-hand part of the screen. Saturday, Danielle moving northwest. And again, a little moisture over the southern half of the state. There could be a blip maybe as far north as Interstate 20, but I just don't think we need to mention that for now. Sunday, Danielle is moving north, well east of the United States East Coast. Kind of a new nose of dry air drops in from the east. Sunday looks dry. Monday of next week, look at the heat bubble northeast of here. Washington, D.C., Baltimore, they're going to heat up with the highs well up in the 90s up there. Down below that, Danielle moves out to sea. It's on the way out of here. And again, we stay dry. There's Tuesday of next week. Here comes Earl down there in the lower right. Again, our weather benign. Wednesday of next week. Now look at here. Earl all of a sudden on this GFS run closer to the United States mainland. Again, a dry look for us. We'll go, and by the way, let's look at Wednesday on the European just for the fun of it. European, this is valid at 7 p.m. Wednesday evening, the 1st of September, or OZ, Thursday, the 2nd of September. And it's got our two systems out there, but definitely in a different position compared to the GFS. Let's go to Thursday of next week. Woo, boy. Earl's getting too close for comfort. We're dry. Week from tomorrow, Earl moving north just east of the United States East Coast. That's going to produce some huge swells if this is right. For the middle Atlantic coast, again, we're dry. And on September 4th, Earl is clipping the Canadian Maritimes on the way out. So this GFS run recurves Earl before reaching the U.S., but man, that thing's close. And look how dry we are all the way through Labor Day weekend. We'll check the end of the forecast, 9/11. And again, if you're looking for a big shot of cool air, it's not going to happen with that, obviously. A 588 bubble over much of the east, trough out west. And down below that, again, the weather looks fairly uneventful. So as we've talked about for several days here, there's no evidence of any really widespread rain for the next couple of weeks, but the tropics very active, and we will be watching with great interest. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and if you're local to us, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 in Birmingham at 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful evening, and God bless.
Weather.